married 10 years, and I'm wondering what is the truth now. Hello and welcome to cozyreads.ke, where I tell anonymous stories to help you navigate life. Today we're diving into the r/relationship advice subreddit, where top promotion 6287 says, my wife and I have been together for 10 years and the last 6 years have been distant. We have 3 kids together and are not happy. We sleep in different rooms, don't communicate well, and honestly feel like she is a roommate. We sleep together rarely and never spend time together. Part of the reason is her eating disorder, which takes priority over me and the kids. To make a long story short, she was inpatient residential for her ED for 2 months. An ED is an eating disorder. PHP for 2 months. So I did my research, and PHP means partial hospitalization program, and is now in IOP, which IOP means intensive outpatient program. So I came across her journals while she was in treatment and no longer see her as the same woman and doubt everything she's saying. Currently, we are just about to start our third, and for me, a final attempt at marriage therapy. I feel completely deflated since reading her thoughts. They include horrible things about me, my mother, who I watched die from cancer, my family, etc. Examples. I hate him so much. He's a narcissist, just like his dead bitch mother. He's from Britain, not even a real American. He's Jewish. I should have married a good Christian man. Wow. I have turned to my eating disorder, starving myself, over-exercising and shopping just to feel something, to feel a burn, to feel a high, to feel hunger. I just don't feel anything for him anymore. Lord, I'm pleading with you. Please don't force me to stay married to him. I don't think I've ever actually considered him my husband. The word just sounds disgusting. He's my roommate, or honestly less than that, because not only do we not get along, but we don't even like each other. We don't want to see each other or spend time together. Doesn't want to have sex, unless she fantasizes about us having a threesome with a big-breasted sexy woman. Enjoys the thought of me fucking them both. She made a list of 32 reasons why she wants a divorce, kept repeating how she hates me so much, hates my mother and my family, calls them all evil, not a good person amongst them, as she says. In addition, I found out she went off birth control so she could get pregnant with 2 to 3 kids, has a guy friend I didn't know about for 9 years whom she denied being sexual with, but has thought about fucking, constantly lies to me and admits this, spends recklessly and is a stay-at-home mom. Being married for 10 years has been challenging, but after reading everything she wrote, I'm wondering, is this really the woman I thought I married? In closing, she says she loves me and wants to make things work, but all I see are the thoughts she put down in her journal. Is this actually what she thinks? Does she want to stay together just because I'm a good provider? Oh my goodness. Well, that is crazy. I don't know who on earth you married, but or how you guys even got married, because what? Hey, and this is the importance of being friends first before you get married. Like, surely, what on earth is this? So, for my analysis, I am seeing so many red flags. So, red flag number 1 is there's a serious disconnect. They're not sleeping together, they don't spend any time together. There's a disconnect emotionally and physically, and that is really hard to come from. So, that is red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is the amount of resentment and vitriol this woman has for this man, because she's writing in the book, not only does she hate him, she hates her family, she thinks he's a narcissist. So why on earth are they still here? And then there's also a lack of trust and respect, because the way she wrote about him, like, personally, I don't have a journal, so for the people who do have journals, I understand that those are private thoughts, but there was not one good thing she said. I don't know. Next is her eating disorder. Like, already, if you have an eating disorder, like, to me, that's a red flag, because that is a sickness that you'll have to take into account for your partner. And then there's thoughts of cheating because she's hiding a male friend. And then there's desire for divorce. And I'm guessing the only reason she's there is for finances, which is just, oh no, there's so many red flags here. I really don't see how he wants to save this marriage. But for me, I think my key choices for him, for what I would tell him before he decides, I would just say, questions to ask yourself. Can you trust and respect her after what you've read? Can you sit down, look at her and say, okay, you've written all these things, but I'm ready to forgive you? Can you get there? Those are the questions I think this man needs to ask himself. Can he trust her after what she's written? Question number 2 that I think this man needs to ask himself is she genuinely committed to this change, or is she staying out of convenience? Like, is she staying because he's a good provider and that's the only reason that she's there, or is she actually trying to rebuild this relationship? Because as much as what she's written in the journal is bad, and I completely understand that, I think everyone will understand that, the next point is she was going through an eating disorder. And from what I've seen, because he said that she was going through intensive outpatient programs and also partial hospitalization, so it shows she was hospitalized. So, and that was the chance where he got to read her journals. So what if she was just writing those journals in a state of mental health that was not well enough? Maybe she didn't actually mean it, because you have seen people who have bipolar and sometimes they behave in ways that even they themselves don't understand. So perhaps this was just one of her mental breaks, but I don't know. He would have to give us some more information about how long the journals were and when she was writing this. But from where I'm reading, I don't know, guys. The last question that I think he should ask himself on whether he should fix this or not is, how much time, energy, and resources are you willing to spend on fixing this marriage? Because this is, now you're going in for your 3rd round of counseling. What? I'm not seeing what counseling could do in this situation. But anyways, those are my thoughts. Tell me if you agree or disagree down below, but let's head into the community comments and see what people on the post said. So Choice Intention 926 says, what is a 3rd round of marriage counseling going to fix that hasn't already been addressed? You're already done. Be done. Then Mother of Crowlings replies and says, the 3rd round is the round where you figure out how to navigate your separation and divorce, what to tell the kids, and how to handle custody, etc., in a way that allows you to be the best version of yourself possible. I think I highly agree with that. And so Psychic Imperialism says, I'm confused what any of the marriage counseling did for them. They have pure communication, and in absence of communication and contexts, the original poster read her journals. To me, that says they learned nothing. So what is the point? People journal for all sorts of reasons, including venting, and if they are mentally ill, that mental illness can often present inside of the journals. Without context, it's a dreadful thing to read their journals and assume you understand what you're reading. The thing is, OP knows she was mentally ill enough to be committed to a psych ward. He was apparently reading journals from before she was committed and received any treatment. It sounds to me like he's read a daily account of her mental illness, but he's interpreting it like he's reading the ramblings of a perfectly sane mind. The journals also appear to be partially venting about what OP admits a problem between them. No communication, no companionship. They don't appear to like each other in the marriage. They aren't having sex. She appears to have sexual fantasies they aren't talking about, and which he's offended by. She was thinking of divorce. They are ugly journals, but aside from the ugliness and offensive things in them, from a marriage standpoint, it appears OP and her are both experiencing the same thing between them. It also appears like she was in dire need of mental health treatment. If OP wants to divorce, he should divorce, but they shouldn't start fighting over her journals and going to marriage counseling to deal with her journals. A lot of people with mental health issues use journals as a coping mechanism, and there will be ugly things in those journals because they are the same ugly things that are in a person's mind distressing them. They are the things the person goes to therapy for. No good can come of OP treating these journals as a marriage issue rather than a mental health issue. I think they're absolutely a mental health coping mechanism, and OP isn't qualified to know whether these journals saved his wife's life and helped her realize she needed help before she received treatment, because people read their own journals after mental health episodes and realize something is wrong. Okay, so I think that comment says a lot. I definitely think we need more context onto these journals to see how long she was writing them, when she was writing them, because I've never dealt with anyone with an ED and I'm not a professional, so I don't know. But if someone wrote about me in their journals like that, I'm out. I can't do that, and I cannot imagine having a partner who would do that. So, and there it goes says, I hear the 11th round of marriage counseling is when the real progress starts. someone replies and says, is that right around the time where she graduates from merely depressing him, from merely despising him to poisoning him, to poisoning his oatmeal? Someone else replies and says, come on now, everyone knows you poison the blueberries that go into the oatmeal and not the oatmeal itself. Another commenter says, hey now, if you poison the almonds on top of the oatmeal, you don't even need to try to disguise the smell of the cyanide. So I think everyone is in agreement in the comments that OP needs to leave. Let's read some more last comments before we move on. As the daughter of a mother with an eating disorder who went on to struggle with an eating disorder for half of my life, this man needs to get the kids away from her. She's purposefully letting her ED win. Well, okay, yep. Someone else comments and says, yep, she's not a safe person. Not to herself, not to her partner, not to her kids. Okay. Someone else comments and says, yes, it's a sad thing to say, but this is the solution. It is temporary, not forever. She needs to heal herself, but necessary. Someone else replies and says, yep, I picked up on my mom's habits at a very young age. I remember weighing myself all the time in kindergarten because I watched my mom weigh herself dozen times a day. I was always tall. I'm 6 feet tall now, and I struggled with the fact that I weighed more than my friends, even though I was always 6 to 8 inches taller than them. I never ate lunch at school. By 14, I was 6 feet tall, around 118 pounds, and I'm 40 now, and I still have body image issues. It never really goes away. Wow. Okay, guys. I think we can all agree our parents really do shape us as we grow up. So yeah, this could be harmful to the children as well. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like, do you agree with me? Do you think this marriage should continue? Do you think they should end? And anyways, if you enjoyed this episode, welcome to cozyreads.ke. I am on all platforms. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Facebook, as well as YouTube as cozyreads.ke. So please follow, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. And thank you so much for watching.